second.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you, John.
Good evening. I'm John Larison from Holloway Engineering, here on behalf of Richard Willoughby and Jamie's Automotive. This piece of property that we're here for is located at 140 East South Street. Jamie's Automotive currently runs their operation there. The addition on the north side of the property, you can see the yellow box that butts up against the existing building. That existing building is 9.5 feet east of the property line, and we're here for that reason. We're here, number one, for a side yard setback variance from 10 feet down to 9.5 feet, and then in addition to that, there is a 30-foot buffer yard requirement, because while our property is zoned I-1, and the north adjoiner and the south adjoiner and the east adjoiner are also I-1, the west adjoiners are single-family residences and they're zoned R1. So the requirement is for a 30-foot buffer yard requirement, and we're seeking a reduction of that, of the 30-foot requirement down to 9.5, and also the elimination of the buffer yard requirements. Our reasoning for that is pretty simple. This business has been in operation for many years. It's a quite old building. It was originally, I believe, a car wash, maybe as many as 30 years ago. But the goal is to add the 50 by 45 addition on directly on the fence line. The business has been in existence and they've been operating for all of these years with that existing 8-foot stockade type fence, and we'd like to for that just to remain the same. So we're asking for those two variances tonight.
Thank you, John. Questions from the the zoning board? No questions? Pretty clear, requesting for two variances. Anyone from the public wish to speak to this? Please state your name and address, sir.
Okay, it's Shane Williams with Williams Rental Properties. I'm the owner building that's immediately north of this property. So the building out here on High Street. I just want to make sure that this doesn't affect the easement that goes through the property.
On this side or this side?
Technically, I think the easement is on this side.
On the side of the 9.
It'd be the west side, correct, John?
It is, yes.
I just want to make sure that people can get from High Street to South Street through the property. That's all.
And that is available to do now.
Yeah.
Traffic can go through there. Do you see the traffic is going to be hindered in any way?
Yeah, and then I'll say one more comment after. Other than that, I actually like to see things being built in our town. I think it's good for the economy, and I'm not against building things, so I would support it just as long as I don't lose my easement.
Oddly, he is right. There is a 30-foot wide easement running the full length of what is this lot. 30 feet of width off the west side of both Mr. Williams' property and this property. The easement was written for the benefit of the owner of this property, of our subject property, because he didn't have the frontage out on High Street. And for some reason, probably over the many, many years that businesses have been operating here, they put the building where they did. I mean, it sits right in the middle of the easement, and traffic has always been allowed to pass freely from High Street to South and vice versa along the east side of that existing building. You can see that the parking lot probably tends to, it's over into the railroad right-of-way just a little bit as well. And cars have always traversed the full length from South to High Street. So we're not burdening that easement any more than it already is burdened or blocked. And there'll be no interruption in the allowance of vehicles to go from north to south. We would, in addition to that, we'd be very happy to write a new easement that actually fits the use if you guys would like to see us do that.
That would probably be acceptable.
And I think at that point that Shane and Mr. Willoughby probably could go ahead and deed each to one another the easement so that it's a reciprocal easement for them.
Any other comments from the public? From the board? We can ask, or a motion can ask for the 9.5 foot setback along with the elimination of the buffer yard in one motion, or we can make two motions. So we could make one motion, couldn't we?
You can.
So do I have a motion, whichever way you want to do it? Our legal counsel
Yeah,
said.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we combine the two requests, but also to add the stipulation
For the easement?
that the easement would not be affected by
Very good.
any of these buildings.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a variance on North State Road 67.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Super nervous. Sorry.
It's okay.
So we're looking to purchase this property and we've made an offer on it, but it's contingent on our zoning.
Can you hear? No.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, sorry.
Try to pull one of those closer, one of the mics, please.
Okay.
They're as close as they're gonna go, I think. You may have
Okay.
to speak up.
I'll just talk louder.
The air handling unit is in
Okay, don't
effect.
be nervous.
Okay. The property is at 11360 North State Road 37.
Thank you.
And we would like to purchase this property for the use of a kennel. And a kennel, it talks about in the paperwork, for training and also boarding. We currently have 2 kennels. I'm in Indianapolis and he's in Gosport, Indiana, and we want to join our kennels. And so we've been looking in the area. We love this property for this. We'd love to be a part of the Mooresville community. And it has existing buildings that work perfectly for us with some modifications.
Do you have any handout?
Do I have it? Yeah.
Do you have a handout?
Yes.
Okay. Could you- I have one here, but could you give the 2 people at the end there something?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they could see?
Well, I only have one.
You need that? Well, I'm gonna let them have mine then.
But I can show you guys anything that you...
Well, you could probably go down there and show them.
Okay.
Pass that down.
This is a vicinity map.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the closer. So we are, the property is just south of the John Deere and just north of the storage units.
So there's no other residences around, everything else is industrial.
Correct. It's industrial all the way around, except for across the street is agriculture. Behind us is Toyota. And this is what the property looks like existing. It's on 4 acres. You'll see a pole barn in the back of the property and the two houses in the front. The two houses are actually zoned separate properties. Let's see. This is where we want to put the kennel, in the back of the property near the pole barn.
You're gonna occupy the house,
No, we are not. We are going to have a business at the house currently.
so will anyone be staying overnight with the dogs?
We will have to see as we go and as we grow if that's going to be necessary. We'll probably, it's not required, but if we have boarders, we'll probably, for insurance purposes, need someone to be there at all times. We'd like to offer day trains, training, boarding, possibly grooming in the future. So I've been in dogs in the dog industry for 25 years, breeding and showing. I was a vet tech for 11 years. My boyfriend is a trainer.
Come back over here so they can hear out there. Thank you.
My boyfriend is a trainer for the last 6 years. He's been focusing on police dogs and competition dogs, but there's a huge need for a pet market. During COVID, our business exploded. And at this current setup in Gosport, we just cannot grow. So we think that this property is perfect for our needs. It's a unique property.
Any questions from the members of the commission?
Mr. Chairman, and we had been too recently.
I can't hear you for that air handling unit.
Is this mic on?
I don't think it is.
Sorry.
You got it.
I was gonna-
There's a button on the side there, a switch.
Did we approve a dog training facility here in Mooresville just recently?
There is one.
Is this direct competition with the one that's already been approved?
No. There's so many people that need trainers for their pets, especially during COVID. We have people that have, tons of people that want pets, specifically dogs. So there's always a need. In a city, I would say you could have many, many trainers. Our facility will have 25 runs, which allows us to have 25 boarders. We'd like to start with that, and I think that that's a comfortable number for us. So, no, it's not going to be there's plenty of business.
Well, I was sure that the pet supply store down here in the shopping center would never make a go of it.
Yeah.
Cars are parked in there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, the pet industry is
Spend a lot of money
exploding.
on our pets.
Yeah.
Other questions from the BZA members? Anyone from the public wish to speak? Have concerns or a question? Well, I can see that there's no residents around. You're somewhat sequestered with industrial around you. So With that, you're requesting a permission to put a kennel in an I-2. There are no further questions from the public or comments from the commission. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Is the
All
motion,
those-
but is the motion to approve?
Approve, sorry.
I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to approve? All those in favor? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a variance on South Clay Street. I think it's Mr. Holloway, engineering job. Thank you.
I'm here on behalf of Dave Carter, the owner of the property at 120 and 1/2 South Clay Street. It does have a Clay Street address, but actually fronts on Broad Alley. The sketch that you have shows the existing house and all of the existing conditions, and you can see that in the large dashed line, the proposed garage that Mr. Carter would like to build. And we're here tonight, technically, we're here so that he can build that garage, but the building of the garage will take our percentage of developed area or percentage of impervious surface from 43% up to 49%. The UDO calls for a maximum in all residential districts of 25%. I took the time to show each of Mr. Carter's neighbors. You can see that Mr. Carter sits on a 1/2 lot in Moore's 4th subdivision. That's 80.5 feet wide by 103.5 feet deep. So that lot was divided into a north half and a south half. The east adjoining lot 8 in block 25 was divided, and then the north half was divided again, and an additional house and garage was put on. And I make that point because the northeast adjoiner is over 60% impervious surface. The house directly east of Mr. Carter, that one is at 67%. Mr. Carter also owns the house at the corner of Clay and High. That one is at 43%. So the amount of impervious area being over the 25% minimum is not at all unusual in town, and especially in that part of town where so many lots have been subdivided since the original platting of the 4th edition in roughly 1860. In addition to that, a large portion of the proposed garage is sitting on the existing driveway, which is also and already counted as impervious surface. So what we're adding roughly is about 600 square feet of additional impervious surface.
Do they have any water issues there presently?
You know, that whole area sits a little bit low just because of the part of town that it's in, but there is not a specific water problem on this property.
Anything else, John?
That's all I have for you.
Questions for the commission? So you're only adding 600 feet of that more of impervious surface.
Yes.
So this garage is going to be part of the house, not a business.
No, it's not. In fact, the proposed garage is simply for him to be able to store a few vintage cars in.
So the entrance will be off the broad alley.
Yes, it will.
Other questions from the commission before I ask for questions from the public? Anyone from the public wish to speak? If there are no further questions, do we have a motion? I know in that neighborhood there, Mr. Carter has improved the looks of everything. Takes very good care of the property, so. Questions?
So the two items we voted on,
One,
It's just the garage.
surface. From 40,
Per ordinance up to 49%.
UDO, that's 25, and he wants 49. And there's already a driveway there that's impervious, that the garage is gonna be built on. So he said,
if you're ready for a motion, I'll make a motion that we approve the, answer your question.
we have a motion to approve, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Do we have any new business or old business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Would you make the announcement that the one on 60, the additional one of 67 was
Oh,
continued today per petitioner's request? They are going to send out new notices to the neighbors and will be at the October meeting.
Is anyone here for that one? Okay. The other variance on South State Road 67 is going to be continued. Thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor? Motion carries. In about 5 minutes, we will start the planning commission meeting.